Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus 5G. It's the very first 5G tablet that we're testing and also the most powerful Android tablet of 2020. It's got a bundled stylus and a lot of things happening for it. I've already played with the device and I can already tell you that it's comfier to handle and use than the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. I know it's got a smaller diagonal, but it's still pretty close to make a comparison between the two. Now here it is. As usual, Samsung is offering us a premium build. It's made of aluminum and it's also very slim and very easy to handle, clearly meant for a landscape use. So I'm going to fire up the device from its, I would say, very skinny buttons. We have here a power button and volume buttons which feel pretty slim. I'm going to place the tablet here and see what's inside the box. So this one was unveiled in August together with the Galaxy Note 20. And finally we have it. The price is hefty, around $1,000. And here you can see the charger with its USB-A connector and the promise of up to 15 watts, even though the tablet itself charges at 45 watts. And here we have the cable which goes from USB-A to USB-C. Okay. Here we have the S Pen, the stylus, with pretty much the same features as the one bundled with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, including the 9 millisecond latency, which is welcome. And finally, this little extra with the key used to access the slot and insert your 5G enabled card, and a bunch of manuals and info and warranty. Okay, so this beast has the most powerful CPU that the Android world has seen this year. Snapdragon 865 Plus. I know the Snapdragon 888 is here, not on tablet just yet. Now the color hues include Mystic Black, Mystic Bronze and Mystic Silver. I'll let you guess which one this one is. It's obviously silver. We got the AKG tuning here. We got an excellent build and the antenna cutouts which may look ugly or cyberpunk style depending on your preference. The stylus is going to be attached like this for charging purposes and for detection purposes, but from what I know you can also attach it to the top side, even though it doesn't feel like a very precise experience, feels a bit hit and miss. Anyway, I'm going to place it here and start analyzing the device. Now I can unlock it right now via pin and afterwards using the embedded fingerprint scanner of the screen, which is optical by the way, not ultrasonic, just so you know, which is a piece of good news nowadays. Okay, so measurements. As usual, Samsung is offering us the slimmest tablet around. 5.7 millimeters in thickness and weighing just 575 grams. At the same time, it's got a nano SIM card slot and the stylus you just saw before attaches magnetically. Other things worth mentioning, well, the screen you're seeing here, I would say already, even though this is not a review, it's a first impression. We're dealing with a Super AMOLED, which is very bright. And at the same time, it's got HDR10 Plus support and even 120 Hz refresh rate, which we've also seen recently on that iPad Pro that we unboxed, the one launched in the spring. The resolution is an atypical one, 2800 over 1752 pixels, and we have a 16:10 aspect ratio, which is ideal for watching movies. Now inside we have a powerful CPU. This one here is the, well, Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus, accompanied by 6 or 8 gigs of RAM and 128, 256 or even half a terabyte of storage of the UFS 3.0 variety. Aside from that, we also have a hefty battery on board. This battery is a 10,090 mAh unit with 45 watt charging. We even have the Edge shortcuts, which we've seen on Samsung phones for half a minute now. And as I said before, you can unlock the device with your fingerprint here, probably not recognized because of the ridge I caused by holding the metal. Okay, so aside from the fingerprint here, we also have a set of quad speakers. So speaker number 1, speaker number 2, between them there's the USB-C port. And on the other side, speaker number 3, speaker number 4, between them a what appears to be a microphone. Almost called it the SIM card slot. At the top side there's a power button and here we have the volume buttons, another microphone, and this is the SIM area, the SIM tray, which you can use to insert your nano SIM with 5G enabled. And here we have the attachments to attach a keyboard accessory, which I'm very curious if it rivals the Apple Magic Keyboard. Honestly, probably not, because that's one badass keyboard. Okay, so this is our website in case you want to keep up with tablets. It's Tablet-News.com. Now, as far as the device is concerned, I noticed that we don't have an audio jack, and I also noticed that we have speakers tuned by AKG. On the camera front, things are pretty simple. This one is an 8 megapixel shooter for your video call needs and maybe even selfies. Who does that with such a large tablet? And if you go to the back side, we find a dual camera with an LED flash. Here we have a 13 megapixel shooter with autofocus, a 5 megapixel ultra wide shooter, and this baby can shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second. Aside from the whole 4G, 5G thing, we have Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, GPS and USB-C 3.2, and the tablet just got updated recently. Let's see if the fingerprint works now. Maybe try it like this. As I said before, creating a ridge on your finger by holding its metal edge is not a good idea. Anyways, what I was saying is that we have Android 10, and even though initially the device came with One UI 2.1, it quickly got updated to One UI 2.5. We also have wireless DeX, so you can stream your screen. You can basically mirror it to a TV set. And we also have the standalone DeX mode, which is something which I really enjoyed on previous Samsung tablets. It's basically turning the tablet into a Microsoft Windows-like experience with similar windows, multitasking, the taskbar, and even the start menu, if you want to call it like that. These are the windows I have opened. And it's even compatible with a mouse and keyboard, so it really simulates your desktop experience. And when you're done, you can exit it, which happens pretty fast thanks to that powerful beast of a CPU. Now, I think it's time to talk about the stylus. Okay, so here we are. We can easily start to interact with the options here. And of course, you can move around, and you can also do various gestures, like for example, this one here should be able to go home. That's the proper position. We're still learning. It's connecting. It shows here the battery available, and also it's charging as it's attached to the back side. Keep in mind that the tip should be facing towards the camera, not as I did before in the opposite direction. We're still learning. It's called first contact and unboxing after all, and now it's only now we can do those gestures I failed at before. Okay, so let's do the whole going home thing one more time. It worked now, and I can also do the other gestures. And luckily, I also have a palette of options here. I can take a note, view the notes, do a smart selection, screen write, live messages, translate, pen up, do some doodling, do some writing here, change the color of my pens and also the thickness of the tips, plus the colors and all sorts of other things. You can also turn your documents into a PDF and also work with Microsoft Office files. You can also navigate using the brand new options and gestures, which are basically the same as the Galaxy Note 20 series. There's a lot going on here, but if you've seen the review of the Galaxy Note 20, you know exactly what to expect, which is a much improved experience compared to the past year S Pen and the past year tablets and notes. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. The very first contact with some hits and misses here with the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus 5G. $1,000 for this device, but it's definitely the most powerful Android tablet launched in 2020. This is it from Tablet-News.com. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. Bye bye.